Here we are in our final room, your spiritually fit room, talking about the seasons of change for leaders just like you and your team. So, this is a quote I think is just really brilliant for this particular room. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Marianne Radmacher. Wow, isn't that powerful? So, what I want you to be looking at, I'm a huge fan of patterns, right? So, what are the patterns with your team that shows that maybe somehow they've lost their spirit, they've lost that team spirit, right? Sometimes it's absenteeism, sometimes it's the lack of collaboration, sometimes it's, you're finding them, they have decreased motivation, they're just really not feeling it in the project or the deadline that you've given to them. You can see the enthusiasm is just not there. Certainly it can be a lack of initiative where people before would initiate things. You can see that there's kind of operating in a low level energy, which is a really big thing. Of course, we all know that body language reflects a lot, whether it's emotional stress or de-stress. Things like people rolling their eyes, people looking more checked out, looking at their watch, distracted, just not present. Those are all signs if you see that in a pattern of some kind. So what I'm inviting you to be looking at right now is, wouldn't it be great to do an exercise where you can get the rocks at the dollar store or wherever. I mean, we've got winter going on right now, so it might be hard to find them other than at the dollar store, but have some really nice markers. Now you can pick up gold and silver ones. This is an exercise I do because I'm the retreat queen, and people know me as that. And so, in that situation, what we do is I have them do a bit of a meditation where they close their eyes and just think about where perhaps their spirit is feeling overwhelmed, and then ask what would be one word that will best support them moving forward. If it's confidence, if it's trust, whether it's self-love, whether it's kindness, whether it's grace, whatever that might be. And then they get to keep that little rock. They can put it in their purse, they can put it in their pocket, they can put it on their desk, but it'll be that reminder for them when they're feeling overwhelmed, when their spirit is getting exhausted, when they're just feeling like they can't keep up. Because that's a reality for a lot of people I'm working with, is that they just feel they're in that stress treadmill and just, it's one deadline after another, and they become human doers instead of human beings. So I'm inviting you to not just acknowledge, the team spirit that may have already decreased, but also what is it that we did before that worked, and how do we resurrect that? How do we keep that going and keep that in flow? So have yourself a beautiful day. Remember, you are a powerhouse.